as Scantron wants to do an interview with me, and I really appreciate that somebody even wants to take the time and take an interest in me. And so did you want me to read something again?
Okay, yep.
Okay, let's see, I'll do this one I got called The Blueprints. I'll do that, and it's also to encourage the youth and, you know, to make people aware of what's going on in their neck of the woods and things like that. Like I said again, you know, we as people need to make each other aware and, you know, use your voice in a positive manner. So, you know, like I said, I wish it was a couple of people here of the younger bracket to hear this. But, I mean, not always is it the man coming down on you. It's also, you know, you have a part in it also, you know. Some of these issues are self-inflicted. Some of them do come from past issues that, you know, haven't been resolved or they say are resolved, but some of it comes from your state of mind and your frame of mind also. So this is called The Blueprint, and the reason I made this is because of something that I heard Ice Cube say once before, that there's a ghetto in every city in America. And once he had said that, I thought about that. I was like, it is, you know. And I've traveled a lot when I was young. I have two grandparents on my mother's side and my father's side. One's from Alabama and one's from Georgia. So I used to go to Georgia a lot when I was young. And, you know, me being from the state of New York, I would go down there and they'll say, there's certain things you can't say or do down here that you guys do up there. And I'm like, wow, you know, to be living in those type of different settings is like, for a kid especially, you don't really understand or know that. So, but the way things are set up and designed is to hold us back. But the thing is not to let it. That's the thing. However they have it set up or designed, however everything was supposed to be organized, it's not necessary that we have to fall into that. So it's called The Blueprint because of those reasons and whatnot. In every U.S. city, in every neighborhood, there's housing projects housing all the blacks. What's some white man's project? Do you object? Spread wide across this globe as though it was contagious. Blueprints drawn up, deemed to be advantageous. Secluded like jungles, I find this absurd. Segregated high-rise buildings while you basking in the suburbs. I hope I'm gaining your attention. Main objective to pull your coat. Stacking apartments on top of apartments, like stacking Negroes in a boat. In every major city, in every neighborhood, there's black on black crime there's black on black crime designed to demise, whereas though we don't even exist. Blueprints drawn up, planned by the races. Survival in the jungle, survival of the fittest, scratching and surviving, living every day like Rambo, while you resting in a condo. Cringe at the idea of even ever rubbing shoulders with the likes of me. Smile in my face, talk behind my back, quick to lie to me. Poor disguise for your modern day slavery. Bringing awareness to your careless shenanigans and trickery. I'm black and I'm proud and won't allow them to make a mockery of our intellect. Do you object? In every U.S. city, in every neighborhood, there's killer gangs killing gangs because they command some respect. Fighting for colors, murder another because you claim a certain sect. The only color that should matter is black. Do you object? Ask the right man, demand the white man show you some respect. Do you object to the blueprints? Get 'em. Thank you. So at this time, I'll have Scantron come up.
Okay, how are you doing? Goodness.
Oh, I'm pretty good, thank you.
Nice
Thank you so much for coming out. I appreciate you coming out for both evenings. Thank you.
Thank you. And so I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Okay.
So we'd like to tell us how you got into poetry, kind of your story starting up.
What happened is, like I said, when I was young, I was introduced to poetry in school. And I fell in love with it ever since. And in my early teenage years, I had two family members. We formed a rap group. So rap is nothing but poetry with music. So I've always written, you know, I've always been a writer. excuse me, and then after the group split up or what have you, everybody went their separate ways, but I continued to write. And 3 years ago, I was in a car accident, and that kind of pretty much changed my life forever. And I look at it as a blessing in disguise because it gave me a chance to actually focus and hone in on my craft and, you know, cultivate it and develop it into where I am right now, and even to further ventures as I want to go on, you know, and continue in poetry.
And can you tell us about the event that came up this weekend, how it was organized and how you were approached?
Oh, sure. Thank you. Yes. What happened is, actually, the manager of the library here, this branch, she saw me host a Black History event that I hosted in February of this year. And she said I was such a great host. She inboxed me and asked me if I would be interested in hosting / organizing an event for National Poetry Month, which is in April, which is this month. So what happened is last year I was in a poetry marathon that was put together by the Urban Epiphany. And when I was asked to do this, I figured I'll have an inner city poetry marathon for the community and for the youth. That's why I had it to be a 2-day event. Yesterday was for the adults, in case some things were mentioned that kids weren't, you know, that wasn't kid friendly or kid appropriate. And then today was designed for the youth, in case there were any talented youth in the city that wanted to come out and express their poetic side, or maybe to encourage somebody, you know, like I was encouraged at a young age to aspire to write poetry. And so what I did was for both days, I supplied everybody with pens and notebooks and pencils and things like that, because being that this is a poetry marathon for National Poetry Month, it's one thing to inspire or encourage somebody to do something, but without the proper tools, they won't be able to do so. So that was my way of giving everybody a token of my appreciation and a token of my love, to start them off with something that I fell in love with.
If there were 3 poets that you would like to mention for people to look into, or maybe they inspired you or you think they're important for the development in America of poetry, maybe just, can you say 3 poets and just a few words about each?
Yes, thank you. Definitely Langston Hughes. There was a Langston Hughes Center here in Buffalo that was very, very vital and important in this community, in this city. And they used to have a lot of different programs and functions and things that they did that we no longer have, which we still need to have till this day. You know, they're taking the arts out of school, and they need to be placed back in the school system, because like I said, I fell in love with this at a young age. And things that have been taken away from my childhood to now, these things could probably prevent these kids from picking up guns and things of that nature. This is why I wanted to have it for the youth, because I wanted to encourage them to tap into their creative side, to find something to inspire them, to pick up a book or a paintbrush or a pen as opposed to a gun. And another poet that I would like to mention, Nina Simone. Fabulous, fabulous artist. She's a singer, she's a songwriter, a poet, you know, beautiful, beautiful spirit, beautiful person. And she's a female, so she's inspirational to me also. So maybe if somebody was to look her up and, you know, check out her bio, she would probably inspire them also. And another one, Dr. Maya Angelou. You can't mention poetry without mentioning her. You know, she's so inspirational, so inspirational. She's been around for years and years. I watched a movie recently. I can't recall what movie it was. I can't recall, but she was in it. And I sat there and I looked, and I may have seen this movie 1,000 times and never noticed that she was in it. And I looked and I said, wow, look at her at a young age, you know, when she was just starting, when she was really fresh with it, and things that were so heavy hitting in that era that inspired her to use her voice in a positive way, to enlighten people, you know, just of their self and then their awareness of what's going on around them and how to probably possibly try to correct it. But if I had to mention 3, those would be the 3. Thank you.
I was also, if there's anything you'd like to say to the youth, you know, any extra things, and maybe if you'd like to end with the pistol pack and peak, I think why you wrote it with the ending that you did in a certain way.
Oh, yeah.
Because it takes a spin on something.
And it does, and that's why, okay, thank you for even mentioning that. Something that I would like to say to the youth, you know, this event that we had today, the only youth that showed up was my son, which I appreciate, and I thank God for allowing my mother to bring him here, or for them to even make it here. But, you know, my thing is, now that I found out that this is really my calling, and this is what I want to do, and I want to use my voice in a positive manner to encourage the kids. Like I said, I'd rather encourage a kid to pick up a book, pick up a paintbrush, pick up an instrument, pick up a pen, as opposed to picking up a gun. All of these emotions and things that you are going through, the puberty stages, someone's not listening, or you don't know who to talk to. Pick up a pen, talk to God, write it down. Put your emotions and your expressions on paper, as opposed to taking out your frustration and aggression on someone. Take it out on the paper. You know, anytime someone rubs me the wrong way, or I feel that I've been wronged or misused, I talk to God, and I'll get them back on paper. Because being able to express your feelings and give yourself that kind of outlet, that's therapeutic. It's a great release mechanism to get that frustration out, and you will feel better. And you will feel better about yourself that way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read the piece, Pistol Pack and Pete. And the reason I wrote that is because there's a Pistol Pack and Pete everywhere. Everybody knows one. And the reason I wrote it and to put a spin on it the way I did is because the media is always digging up somebody's background. This person was like this person was like that, or when they lived in this kind of environment. And sometimes, because you live in a certain setting, a certain environment, does not mean you have to become a product of your environment. It's been proven time and time again. It's been going on since the beginning of time, and it will be going on before us and after us, even the youth to come. So you don't have to be a product of your environment. And knowing that somebody does believe in you does help also. When you think no one does, there is somebody who does believe in you. And I wrote this because the media is always focusing in on the negative as opposed to the positive out of the situation. So let me just go get this piece and then I'll read it. Okay, because that one I don't know by heart. And it's right here. Thank God. God knows what to do. I didn't have to go shuffling that far. God knows just how to help me. Thank you. And again, this piece is called Pistol Pack and Pete. And what happened is, it put me in the mind of a New York setting. You know, like one of those gritty New York scenes or something like that. A scenario that any child in America may have been forced to be into because of their circumstances, because of the economy today, because people are telling them this is what to do. Peer pressure, everyone's doing it. So, you know, you do have the mind, a mind of your own. You do have the choice to make your own decisions. No one should be able to force you to do what you don't want to do. Pistol Pack and Pete picked an all-night delicatessen. 3 a.m. on 42nd Street, toting a Smith & Wesson. Fates about to hand Pistol Pete a life lesson. I'm going in. Lil Wayne's voice is in his head. It's a recession, he's on a mission, he's out of cash and needs some bread. Pete left his building, ran through the project, strapped with a pistol, clutching a rosary. Pistol Pete began to pray, boarding a subway destined for Broadway. No master plan, a stick-up man, he's just a baby, a little boy. Society, statistically, already robbed him of his joy. It's 3:19, this young black teen made the best move which saved his life. Pistol Pack and Pete picked the choice to rethink twice. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, goodness, and we have to thank goodness for goodness, I think, too. So
No, that's right.
give her one more round of applause.
Thank you. And I thank God for this gift.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Scantron, and thank you. I really appreciate you coming out. It was a pleasure meeting you. hopefully I would hope to do a few more things with you in the future if possible.
We're looking to expand a poetry section, a video poetry section on the BuffaYo.com website we're making, so.
Okay, well, if you may need any of us, yes. Thank you so much again, and I thank you guys for coming out. Have a wonderful evening. I thank the library for allowing us to have this here, Ms. Sandra Bush. And enjoy the rest of your Sunday. God's blessings.
Thank you.
Yeah.